Alright, so you want to buy a Ford Taurus SHO. Well, I'm making this video because this was a video I kind of wished had been around when I was looking for mine. It's just kind of like information about the car and, everything you should be prepared for and everything like that for when you go to buy one. So, I'm going to do kind of a good, bad, and the ugly sort of thing with it, and yeah, I hope this helps you make your choice on if you want one or not. So yeah, let's get started. All right, let's start with the good. With the good, this car has a lot of good. Just for starters, it's probably one of the most comfortable cars I've owned and driven, within reason, obviously. But I would say it's up there with like some of the nicer Lexuses that I work on at work and stuff like that. So it is a little heavy and stuff, but that's all due to the way that Ford put this all together and made it, a very smooth riding and driving car. So yeah, so that's one of the goods, and going along with that as well, it has, at least on the 13s and up, they have heated seats. They've got cooled seats, heated steering wheel. It has some of them actually have massaging seats if you get like a higher tiered SHO. So I mean they're really built for comfort. And this is a car I've taken on road trips before, for long drives. And it's been a pretty good car, like comfort wise and everything like that. For that, the only thing that I do wish is that the seat bottoms extended out a little more, just because I have bigger like upper legs, or longer upper legs. So my legs do kind of get tired of holding themselves up pretty much on long trips, but otherwise the car is comfortable for long trips. Another good thing is the Taurus SHO is, it's not a race car, but it's quick for what it is and how much it weighs and everything like that. I mean, I think stock or factory, they run around like, I want to say like high 12s or something like that at the track. So that it being twin turbo, all-wheel drive, it definitely, it's not a slouch. It gets up and goes, and tuning does a lot for it too. I mean, there's a few guys that'll cut just a few seconds off, or not seconds, but milliseconds off, just doing a tune, like nothing else, just a tune. So it's a quick little car for what it is. Again, it's not a race car. It's not, all this power, but it moves. It goes. It'll surprise people. Another good thing is that it's based off the Explorer platform. So, with that being said, currently, most police jurisdictions are using the Tauruses and the Explorers as cop cars. So, what that means for you is when you need parts, they are pretty readily available, because you have a lot of squad cars that end up in the junkyards. So, a lot of the, parts here and there are pretty cheap and easy to come by. So that's another bonus with it. Being a Taurus, with that being said, it does blend in as, like, people think it's a cop car, so that's a good thing and a bad thing. Good thing, kind of, if you're running late or whatever, other cops also think you're a cop car. So, I mean, that could be a good thing. Bad thing is when you're running late and everyone thinks you're a cop, then, yeah, everybody drives the speed limit or just like barely under. And, yeah, it doesn't help. So, there's that. Another good thing is just all the options this thing has. I mean, like I said before, you have heated seats, you have cooled seats, you have a heated steering wheel, you have Bluetooth, some of them have massaging seats, you have dual climate air control, you have like, some of them have adaptive cruise control. The rear seats are heated. You have a rear sunscreen. I'll show you. I think it'll work. So you have that rear sunshade. So if you have like kids or whatever, it'll help, keep them a little cooler on, summer days. And yeah, I mean, these things are just loaded with options, and the sound system in it. The sound system is great. Definitely the best sound system I've ever had in a car. So yeah, I mean, this car is loaded with a lot of good things. So there's that. Another good thing is I actually forgot to think about is another option that it does have is a backup camera. And it has remote start for most of the models. I know for at least the 13s and up, I believe they all had remote start. So yeah, there's those two things I forgot to mention. And for some bad things, they're not horrible, but they are some things I wish I would have known. So one of the bad things is the fuel mileage. I mean, I get it. It's a performance sedan. It's not going to have, the fuel economy of a Civic. That's fine. But when I drive pretty, religiously. I'm not. Every once in a while, I'll get on it and play around and stuff like that. But like for the most part, I drive like a grandma, and I average like around 18 on a good day. If I'm on the expressway, I can get up to probably 22. But it just, that's what I averaged in my diesel truck pulling a trailer. I averaged that on the way home, and that was doing like 75. So, fuel mileage could be better for what the car is, and and everything like that. So there is that. Another thing is the tires don't last long at all because it's a heavy car, because they have a lot of rotating mass. The tires go quick, and when you need tires, you gotta remember these are 20s. I believe they're 20s. And so I mean, yeah, you can get a set of cheaper tires for $75 a tire, but keep in mind they're cheap tires. If you want, like OE replacements or something similar, you're looking at $250 a tire at least. And they kind of go up from there. So the tires get expensive, and they go quick. There's no putting that lightly. I wish I had known about that. Because again, it's it's one of those things you should know about. Yeah, I just wish I had known about the tires before. So there is that. Also going back to the whole fuel mileage thing, the other thing that you have to keep in mind is these cars take premium, at least 91, but they really like 93, and depending on where you live at, 91 or 93 may not be the cheapest fuel. So that can get expensive as well. So just keep that in mind. That fuel can get expensive as well, depending on how much you drive and everything like that. So just like I said, just something to keep in mind. It can get expensive. Another bad, there's not a whole lot of, I mean, there is, but there's just not a whole lot of aftermarket support currently. Like I said, there is some, but when it comes to certain things, you really only have a choice of one or two things to go with these motors. I don't know why the support is not as high as some other platforms. I mean, like its competitors, there's a lot of support for the like the G8s and stuff like that, or the Chevy SS's. I don't know. I don't really know why there's not a whole lot of aftermarket for these cars. Just being that what they're built for and the market that they suit for, you would figure that people would be all over with trying to tune these cars and everything like that. But most of the stuff that you want to change or need to change or what have you, there's really only 1 to 3 supporters for whatever you're looking for. So that's it's a limited market for that. So just keep that in mind if you do want to mess around and tune it and mod it and stuff. You are a little limited compared to the GTO. The GTO, everybody makes something for that car. There's hell, I can go on eBay and find no-name stuff for it. The Taurus, it's not the same. You pay there's like basically the one price, and that's pretty much what you pay. So just keep in mind if you do want to mod it, that's something that comes with it. So, and now for the ugly. I want to give a caveat with this one. So for the ugly, this isn't every car. This isn't, guaranteed to happen. These are just things that come up, somewhat often. They're known problems with the cars. And again, it really all has to do with maintenance, how you take care of the car, how you drive the car. So just getting started, one of the first things is the water pumps. The water pumps are built into the motor behind the timing chain. So when the water pump starts to go, which it's pretty inevitable, pretty much you have to tear down most of the motor. You got to take the timing chains off, the whole side of that, and it's something, if you have the knowledge to do, you can do it in the car. Like, you can keep the motor in the car and do it in your garage, but if you don't have the knowledge and know-how to do it, it can get expensive. The Ford dealer's probably gonna want to just drop the motor out of the car, and that's labor. That takes time. So that is one of the uglies. So when the water pump goes, it's a hefty bill. It is. Unless you do it yourself. So, but I know that not everybody has the know-how to do that. So just keep it in mind. Another thing that is common with these is the PTU. It's called the power transfer unit, but it's basically the transfer case from the transmission going back to the rear differential. The PTU, it has what they call a lifetime fluid in it. But there's been a lot of people that around 30 or 40,000 miles crack it open and it's completely dry and the unit has basically shredded itself. I cracked mine open, I think at 35 no, I think like 38,000 miles, something like that. Mine still had some fluid in it, but it was minimal. So I got fluid, topped it up, and every oil change I changed the fluid out. It's all about being religious with it. My car still has the factory PTU in it, but I'm religious about changing that fluid. Um, if you have a performance package car, then there's a drain plug on it. If you don't, there's only a fill plug. So you'd have to have something to be able to suck the fluid out and then put the fluid back in. So that's another thing, when the PTU fails, that's another hefty bill. Um, I mean, even if you do it yourself, it's just the cost of the unit. So, keep that in mind. That's another thing that does go bad. The next one is turbos. I see a lot of turbos go bad over the lifetime of the car. They're just, I mean, again, it all has to do with the type of oil you use, the amount of time you change it in, keeping up with maintenance and stuff like that. That's what's going to keep these things alive in your car. I've seen a lot of turbos go bad. Mine are still the factory ones. I know one of them is kind of leaking, but it's still making boosts, still making pressure and stuff like that. But it's just something that in the back of my mind I'll probably have to replace. It just is what it is. And like I said, I'm religious about changing my oil and keeping up with maintenance and stuff. So it's sometimes it's not you, it's just the way it's built. So it's one of those things to keep in mind. Another bad, and this is just something that nobody would know about. I mean, really, I am a pretty big car guy. I work in the industry. And I never thought that, so the best way to put it is, so there are these plastic covers on the back of the headlights, and they keep moisture out and stuff like that, and they seal the headlight. Well, at some point, my driver's side went missing. Well, water got in there, shorted out the ballast, shorted out the HID bulb, and got moisture in the headlight. Well, I was able to get the moisture out of the headlight. That was easy. However, the ballast was $400. The bulb through Ford. I don't know about aftermarket, but through Ford it was $400. Then the bulb itself was another, I think it was like $280 or $300. So just keep in mind that if you have a headlight bulb go out, it's going to be almost $300. If you have a ballast go out, like in my situation, I had no idea that the cover was missing. So all in all, it turned into like a $500 thing just for a headlight bulb. And it could have been more than that. I think the headlight assembly itself was another $400. So, luckily I had the know-how to get the moisture and all that stuff out of my headlight. But like anything else, man, it's just these little things that you don't know about that all of a sudden it's a huge expense, because everything's the biggest and best with this car, because that's how Ford engineered it. And it gets expensive real quick with little nickels and dimes. So, I don't, that's just one of those things I just wish I had known about. So, I mean, overall, I'm not trying to scare you out of it. I'm not trying to sway you into it. At the end of the day, it's your choice on what you want to drive and what car you want. This kind of, it fits, a part of my lifestyle. It's something that I enjoy driving. It's a lot of fun. It surprises people. There's just a lot of caveats that kind of come with this car and ownership, and it's just stuff that I'd wish I'd known about before I got into the car to kind of prepare myself. So again, I'm not trying to scare anyone away from one. I'm not trying to, push anyone into one, because they're a lot of fun. They're quick cars. For the price that you can get them at right now, they're, good for the money. But if you buy one, you got to keep one, because the resale on them is crap. It really is. But it's just stuff I wish I'd known before I bought mine. So just wanted to make this video for you guys, so you have that info. Someone that's not gonna bullshit you on what comes with buying these cars. So yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know. So hopefully, if you are looking at one, hopefully you get a nice clean one that like makes you happy. And if you're kind of on the fence and now maybe not, well, maybe I kind of helped you out. I don't know. Let me know. But this is for you guys. Just someone being straight up honest and not giving you any bull crap. So thanks for watching, and just let me know if you picked one up or you walked away. Thanks.